got through the betting and pick'em portion, and now as we end the first half of every show, we are going to get into our sports politics.
Yes, sir.
We got a couple good topics for you guys this week. Both are very baseball oriented, I would say.
Yep.
Mine is about AJ Hinch. For those of you that follow baseball, or even some of those of you that don't, I'm sure by now know about the ins and outs of the 2017 through 19 Astros scandal. To sum it up for people that don't, the Astros stole signs using unknown technology they put into their own stadium to win a World Series and appear in another one in 2019. At the helm was manager AJ Hinch, who rightfully so lost his gig with the Astros last season, or going into the season, following the investigation and whatnot. But he took down the Red Sox manager Alex Cora for a year, who actually got rehired today.
Sure, go Red Sox.
And who was supposed to be the Mets manager going into last year, Carlos Beltran, who served as Cora was the bench coach under Hinch in 2017, and Beltran was a player. So keywords under Hinch. Cora was rehired, as I said, agreed to part ways last spring, but he wasn't really the one running the show in Houston. He was the bench coach, and how much does the bench coach have to do with a scandal like that?
Right. Yeah.
So there's that, and then Beltran was a player, and he wasn't obviously the decision maker there either. All of it kind of ties back to AJ Hinch.
Right. He's a leader of that team, so he takes the blame.
Yes, exactly. And Hinch was hired by the Tigers this past week, as I said. And this should be troubling to MLB fans for a few reasons. One being, AJ Hinch was essentially given less punishment than Beltran, who was a player, because Beltran is still jobless. And he pretty much orchestrated this entire scandal. I don't know if this was his idea, but he let it happen. It was under his watch. And if anyone should be taking the majority of this blow, it should be Hinch. Secondly, none of these absences were given like the Hinch parting ways and the Cora parting ways and the Beltran parting ways. All weren't implemented by the MLB. They were all
In-house,
teams, yes, all in-house, all teams that took it upon themselves, which is just a testament to how clueless and brain dead Rob Manfred is. He's proven for a multitude of reasons that he is the worst commissioner in the history of sports, and you can't convince me otherwise. Show me a worse commissioner. I bet you can't.
I don't get it. How even there was no players suspended. Like how I don't. We've talked about the Astros pretty much in every episode. So we both hate them.
Mm-hmm.
But how are you the commissioner of baseball and they cheated? You suspend them for 1 year and then you didn't suspend a single player.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even fathom that.
Neither can I, which kind of brings me to my last point too. So many times in baseball, when we see suspensions and we see punishments, we go back and tie it all back to Pete Rose and that whole sort of ban.
True.
So what is the MLB standards for who receives a lifelong ban if it's not this? Pete Rose cheated the game, but never as a player, and never resulting in phony results at the end of seasons. It resulted in phony results as for individual regular season games, but Hinch took this kind of the extra mile, and he won 2 LCSs, a World Series in this 3-year stretch. So I don't know where you cut the line off or the standard off when you ban people for life, because he cheated the entire league out of a World Series and a championship series. Yeah. So I don't understand that. But good luck to the Tigers organization trying to rally around a guy that you flat out can't respect when it comes to the game of baseball, because they sure as hell are going to need.
Yeah. Not a fan. But I am happy that Alex Cora's back in the Red Sox. Just gonna say that. Go Sox. We needed that because we were terrible last year.
Mm-hmm.
For my topic, sticking with baseball, I'm sticking with kind of Rob Manfred being just an awful commissioner. But Justin Turner did not. So you may know that Justin Turner got COVID, or he was tested positive and taken out in the middle of the World Series game, Game 6, and he celebrated with his team after winning the World Series. So there was speculation that he could get fined, blah, blah, blah. He ultimately was not fined, and I'm okay with that because I think we talked about this before, but it was Rob Manfred and MLB's fault for not seeing that it was before the game, and you're going to take him out in the middle of the game. Meanwhile, he's already been with this whole team.
Everyone.
Like if he's going to give COVID to someone else, it
already happened.
You hate to say it, but it already happened, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean, let the man celebrate, let him have his thing. And I was okay with him not being fined. If you're gonna fine anyone, freaking fine Rob Manfred.
Exactly, and I just have a hard time getting on board with an open investigation on something that you did yourself, that the MLB in-house sort of staff
Yeah.
messed that whole situation
How
up.
I don't understand how they all get tested before every day. I'm assuming,
Mhm.
and he's the one guy that you couldn't figure out before the game. It's game 6. You knew it when the game was going to be. You knew when he was tested. Why is that? Why is it in the middle of the game?
As many COVID scares as the MLB had this year, I just have a hard time fathoming that this is the one in Game 6 of the World Series, the game-clinching game, the last game of the season, that you have to pull a guy out in the middle of the game.
An important guy too. Something's fishy about
Yeah,
that.
that whole situation is very sketchy, and that makes me question what the protocol was in those bubbles,
Yeah.
because that is the most horrendous, unorganized, garbage situation that
yeah.
you can imagine.
Yeah. Who can fire Rob Manfred? How does that work?
I think.
Like, does
It
he
has
just
to be-
relieve of his duties?
See, I think that it would have to be like his colleagues, like the
Like
committee.
the board of trustees in
Yeah,
a way kind of
like
thing? Yeah.
the board, the committee or whatever that runs baseball operations,
Yeah.
and the players committee voting him out both collectively or the
Okay.
majority vote.
Right.
I think that's how it works. I completely pulled that out of thin air, but I would just think that.
I mean, it makes the most sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've never really seen, I mean, David Stern was one guy, commissioner that we've had that, but he just retired.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone really get fired.
Nope, we've seen Goodell forever. Bud Selig retired
Yeah.
a few years ago, which why we see unfortunately Rob Manfred now. And then we've David Stern obviously passed down to Adam Silver.
Yep.
So these were all willingly going.
Yeah,
Nobody had a problem
transition.
with it sort of moves.
But yeah, he needs to go.
As soon as possible.
Yeah.
As soon as possible.
Very embarrassing.
I didn't think anybody could get worse than Goodell,
Yeah.
but
He did.
he's blown it out of the water in about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. So yeah, that does it for the sports politics, and we're gonna go into another fun segment, our fantasy football segment.
Mhm.
As we usually do to start off the fantasy football, we compare our last week's teams.
If you didn't beat me, something surreal happened.
My team was pretty hot last week. I'm gonna go. My score was 218.
137.
Oh god, dang! I'll give you props though. You went with more unusual guys per se. I went with kind of like the bigger names, but yikes! Oh god.
Yeah, well, one thing that hurt me real bad was I didn't know that Dallas Goedert was playing this week. I didn't know. I honestly thought he had a season-ending injury and that he wasn't coming back until next year. So that hurt.
Hey, as you told me one time, do your research.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. My fault. I dropped the ball on that one. Usually pretty good about. I don't think they came out with that until Saturday.
The injury reports have been skeptical this year.
Yeah. Schefter again. What is the problem?
Like Kittle, he's gonna be out 8 weeks. Now we might play in 2 weeks. Like some of these injury reports, and Kenny Drake's questionable maybe. Meanwhile, he was out for like 4 weeks.
Aaron Jones was a last-second scratch a couple weeks ago.
It's weird.
It was.
It's weird.
I don't like
But
it.
my team, Mahomes was great for me. Devontae was great for me. Kamara, I had the big names, but they delivered. Gotta love to see it.
I think the only two guys that were successful for me were Aaron Rodgers and Keenan Allen. The rest of the squad, I think only two others cracked double digits, and that was 11 and 10 points. It was horrendous.
It's rough.
It was really
All right,
bad.
so-
My defense is pretty good.
There you go. That's good.
21 points.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Philly.
Who they playing, Joe?
Dallas.
Dallas. Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
makes sense. All right, so you take this week. Top performers this week. Go
All
ahead.
right. My first top performer this week, Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
One of the most talented receiver corps in the game takes on the second worst team. And in games against NFC East games this year, Ben has thrown for a combined over 500 yards and a 6 touchdown to 0 interception ratio. And that was both against the Cowboys when they were healthy, when they had Yak, and the Eagles.
Okay.
So those were the two matchups there. So I think Big Ben is going to, or the Steelers team is going to pick apart the NFC East just piece by piece.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Big Ben.
Yeah, I got Big Ben as my first one, and then are you going 1-1 or?
No, you go on. Do your second
All
one.
right, another name that you might be surprised by, James Robinson.
Not even though he's been like the top 5 running back this year.
Yeah, he's got a backup QB this week. He's got a horrible Houston defense on the other side of the ball, and is coming off a game where that he had a season high in touches, rush yards, and 5.4 yards a carry.
Yeah. No, he's
Enough said.
He's been very good.
Mhm.
And very surprising too, came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Because nobody knew who was going to take over once Fournette
Thanks for
departed.
Yeah. I remember seeing, I think it was like Field Yates or someone said, don't go rushing to draft James Robinson.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Come on, Field.
Don't quote me, I don't know if it was Field, but,
Uh, I would think it sounds
it
Field-esque.
sounds something, yeah, it sounds something like them. For my top performers, I'm gonna go Kyler Murray, who has been one of the, if not the best fantasy-wise quarterback per se. I mean, Russell Wilson's probably the best quarterback this year, but mixed in with Kyler's rushing, he's been dynamic.
Mhm.
So they're going against the Dolphins, who are again not a crazy defensive team, so more middle pack. But I expect a big game from him, and then I'm gonna go with Dalvin Cook, who dismantled the Packers. So might as well keep riding him. And then playing the Lions.
Pause.
Oh man, that is very much Paul as well. So I'm going. Let's move on. I'm going to go Dalvin Cook, and I wish I forgot. I just said that. I was so sus. I'm just gonna go right into my QB, Kyler Murray. I just said him, and then I'm gonna go with Patrick Mahomes, who I'm not gonna. Okay, Patrick Mahomes, they're playing Carolina, and yeah, he was great for me last week. So again, I'm gonna go with him.
All right, fair enough. Let me compose myself. Okay, my QBs this week. So I talked about Ben,
Yep.
and here's the second name for you: Cam Damn Newton.
Stop.
Weekly Jets pick.
Stop. No way.
Pissed off Cam.
He's got no one to throw to.
He's got something to prove now, and I believe my guy will answer the damn bell. I believe that if this is the blueprint bounce back game.
Well, I mean, it's the Jets, so yeah.
Exactly. And so
And Monday night.
yeah, and Monday night, all the lights are going to be on him, and he loves those situations. It's just he's had a hard time in the past couple weeks delivering in games that he didn't really feel a sense of urgency, but it was. I think the Jets are going to give him a bounce back win. He's going to get composed. He's going to get back to the Cam that we know, and he's going to produce. He's going to deliver, and he's going to answer the damn bell.
Okay. I can see it rushing wise. I can't see it throwing wise. Just unless they get someone, because I'm not impressed with the receiving core at all.
I mean, against Seattle, who was way better than the Jets,
Yeah.
I would say. I mean, their defense is sus, but they had Jamal Adams that game. He threw for, I think, 270.
Yeah.
So,
No, I mean,
he's proven that he can.
not
throw the ball.
not knocking his talent. I think he's one of the most talented quarterbacks to
Yeah.
play, but I don't think I can trust him in the fantasy lineup.
Uh,
But I
like
respect it. And that's your boy. That's
There's,
your boy.
yeah, there's a lot of questionable QB matchups this week. I like this one the most, and there's a difference between Cam Newton and Cam Damn Newton.
Okay.
When
Respect.
that's the guy that answers the best, so I got confidence in my guy this week.
I have the confidence. My two running backs, I talked about Dalvin Cook. I'm going to talk about the best running back in the game right now, Alvin Kamara. Literally, he's pretty much carrying the Saints on his back. He produces 20 plus fantasy points a game at the minimum. He's pretty much a running back and a receiver. He at the end of the year, he'll be the best running back, but he could be like a top 5 in terms of catches and yards in terms of receivers.
Yeah, like total
Because it's like-
yards from scrimmage.
Yeah, but even receiving though, I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Receiving wise, like he's getting like 80 plus yards a game.
Yeah, well, that's partially because of
I mean,
Drew Brees' arm falling
yeah.
off.
No, 100%. He's getting 8 catches a game.
Yeah, I don't think they have enough KT tape in the world to fix Drew Brees' arm right now.
I love Drew Brees though, but he might need to go. I'm here to see with Michael Thomas back though how that goes.
Yeah, that'll definitely. I don't know if his targets will lessen or will stay the same, or they'll get away from like Jared Cook. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
It's gonna be interesting.
but I mean one thing that they usually do go to is Kamara, so that's why I went with him.
My second running back, I talked about James Robinson, and then I have Dalvin Cook as well.
Okay. Yep.
He looks to be evolving into. This is the second time that we've seen him kind of take on that Derrick Henry 49er offense type role, and he's taking on a very sus Detroit front seven, who I would like to think is a little worse than the Packers. I don't know for sure, but I like to think that because like you have Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith, a couple of guys up front that have proven to be decent. At least I can't name you a decent front seven guy in Detroit right now. Yeah.
They used to have what's his name, Snacks Harrison.
They released him this year, and then they had Ziggy Ansah.
Right, he's gone. I couldn't name you one.
Yeah, no. So yeah, Dalvin Cook in the Packers game, and then what was the other game? Seattle game.
Well,
Seattle.
when he's healthy, he's one of the best running backs because they feed him the ball. He has 20 plus carries a game.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's completely dominated 2 games, and usually you see that type of thing. Like, you saw in the 49ers NFC Championship last year. It was run. And then Derrick Henry, that's like 95% of their offense.
Yeah.
So, you've seen the Seattle game, the Packer game, where Dalvin Cook just ran wild the whole game.
Yeah.
So I think this is another game that he will look to stay hot.
Yeah. For my receivers now, my 3 receivers, I'm going to go Keenan Allen. I think we're both high. Justin Herbert he's been unbelievable.
Yeah,
he's been having.
They can't win games, which is just extremely unfortunate.
I saw a stat that compared Herbert's first must be 5 games with Mahomes' first 5 games, and just as good stats, but Mahomes was 5-0, Herbert's 1-4.
Yeah, just incredibly.
Chargers, Chiefs.
Yeah, who is sadder as far as keeping leads, Atlanta or the Chargers?
I'm still going Atlanta, but Chargers are giving a run for their money.
Yeah, I just think because it's the Super Bowl,
that's like
what proves above all.
Exactly, but the Chargers, they could be, their record could be flipped. They're 2-5. They only have 1 win.
I think they only have 1.
No, they're 2 because I think they won 1 with Tyler Taylor. I think they're 2. I think they're 2-5. Don't quote me on that. If you want to fact check me real quick, but I believe they're 2-5, but they could be 5-2 because Justin Herbert is that good.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Keenan Allen as my first receiver. I'm going with Terry McLaurin as my receiver 2, who I like a lot, and they're playing the Giants, and Giants are not really good, so. We'll go with Terry McLaurin. He's the number 1 option over there. And he's newly captain now. Landon Collins went down with the injury, so they named him, he was the captain, or one of the captains, so they named him captain. Just a cool little fun fact.
Yeah. As they should. I would think that their only source of offense would be the captain.
Definitely. He's him, and I would say Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson, he's relevant fantasy-wise, but Terry McLaurin must start. And then my last receiver, Allen Robinson. Who's again, we talk about one of the most talented receivers in the game, playing again like a subpar Titans defense. Nick Foles loves Allen Robinson, feeds him targets, like 10 plus a game. So big game for Allen Robinson.
Okay. Yeah, the Chargers are 2-5.
2-5. Okay, that's what I thought.
They got to. So yeah, just quick little fact check right there. I thought it might have been 1, but
I think they won week 1 with Tyler Taylor.
Who did they play week 1?
Couldn't tell you. Probably Broncos.
Did they play Broncos twice now? Because they just
No, that doesn't seem. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're 2-5. Go for it.
All is well. All right. So my wide receivers for the week, I also have Terry McLaurin.
Yep.
I like this matchup as I predicted. Since Kyle Allen has been in at the starting role, his targets has been through the roof.
Yeah.
3 of the last 4 games, he's had 14, 12, and 11 targets. So So I expect the same, more of the same out of Terry McLaurin.
Yep, that's the one.
My second receiver, Chase Claypool.
Interesting. Well, you're high on Big Ben. Might as well go with both.
Exactly. And who on the Cowboys roster can match up with him?
Stop.
Physique-wise.
The best. Oh, see, no one.
Yeah.
He's not DK level, but.
No, yeah, but he's a freak.
He's a freaking.
He's a freak.
Yeah.
And they're definitely going to look to focus more on Juju and take James Conner away.
Yeah.
Chase Claypool might kind of get lost in translation.
A couple long rolls, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
and like he, especially on that roster right now, what they are putting out for defenses every week,
Yep.
Chase Claypool might have a field day.
Yeah, and they might have the ball a lot because the Cowboys they might go 3-9.
Exactly. And then my third receiver is, we talked about him a little bit earlier, Stephon Diggs. Seattle secondary. I'm pretty sure Jamal Adams is still out.
I think he is playing now.
Oh, he is playing
I
this
think
week?
I saw him and Michael Thomas were like the 2 big names that might be, and McCaffrey. The big names might be playing.
Okay, well, either way, I mean, I don't think that Jamal Adams is going to be manning up.
And Diggs has been one of the best receivers.
Yeah,
so far.
Diggs has been he's second leading receiver in the league. He's got a COVID plagued. Oh wait, no, they're playing Seattle this week. I don't know why I put that down. I don't know what's going on with me today. We're gonna bounce back next week. But yeah, give me Diggs all day against Seattle.
Yeah. For my 2 tight ends, I'm going with 2 teammates that were in college, T.J. Hockenson and Noah Fant. T.J. Hockenson, no Kenny Galladay, and T.J. Hawkinson's Matt Stafford. I'm hoping he plays. He has COVID, but he should be. Maybe he's on track to play. So he loves T.J. Hockenson, and especially in the red zone. They're playing the Vikings, who again are not a great team. And then Noah Fant, who's another guy that Drew Lock likes to throw to him, a big target guy, and they're playing again a terrible Falcons offense. So give me Hawkinson and Fant as my 2 tight ends.
So here's my thing. We gotta stay on Matt Stafford for just a second because I have a question. How does this COVID protocol work
Yeah,
if Jamal Williams,
it was close proximity.
Brandon Ayuk had to sit out yesterday's game
I think
because they were high risk and they came in contact with him, but Matt Stafford 5 days removed from a COVID positive.
I think it's
sketching me out from day one.
because they found out Edgy Dillon had COVID. I think must have been Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
When did they find out Stafford had it? Was that like 2 days
It
ago? Or was
was-
that yesterday?
I'm pretty sure it was yesterday.
So Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, I mean,
I
that's a good point.
don't understand. Like I said, that whole COVID protocol NFL situation has been sketching me out from the jump. But whatever, it is what it is. So for my tight ends, I also have Noah Fant.
Okay.
9 targets last week. Drew Lock thrives against bad defenses. Atlanta does not have the personnel to keep track of Judy, Fant, and both running backs. I think if anyone gets lost in that defense, the defensive focus, it'll be Fant. And yeah, he's been good in the red zone. His yards after reception are off the charts. And yeah, I like that matchup a lot.
Yeah.
And speaking of matchups that I like this week, Jimmy Graham.
Okay.
I like Jimmy Graham this week. That Tennessee linebacking core does not do well in coverage. More than likely, we'll have a nickel corner falling around Graham. And if Foles can get the ball to him, that's a mismatch all day.
Yeah.
All day. And you're going to be throwing jump balls in the end zone. He's going to have a touchdown here, a couple jump balls there. I expect Jimmy Graham to have a pretty good day.
Got it. For my kicker and defense, I'm sticking with our boy. Did you have him this week?
I did not.
Oh.
I went away from
Dang
him.
it.
I didn't want to have the same kicker
I
3 weeks in a row.
So I was thinking about it and I was like, wait, let's do it because we might have it for 3 weeks in a row. Well, but our boy Young Ho Koo.
Yep.
They're playing the Broncos. And we like his name, but he's been very good.
He's been really good.
Yeah.
13 points last week. The number 1 ranked kicker in Matthew Berry's rankings this week.
I think he's the number 2 overall, and he's missed 2 games, I think. So he's been producing. So I like our boy right there. And then I'm going to go with probably maybe you would have him Steelers defense against the Cowboys.
I do have the Steelers
because they're playing the Cowboys with potential 4th string quarterback. So the Steelers are second probably behind the Colts in best defense.
Yeah, all those reasons I had Steelers this week. Their trial and error QB situation, especially against the Steelers of all teams. Yikes. And the kicker, I went Tyler Bass this week for
Miami.
Buffalo.
Oh no, yeah, fair. Okay, Tyler Bass.
Yeah, Tyler Bass. I've never been fishing, so I figured I might as well pick out a winning bass.
There you go.
So that's my logic there.
It's a good start.
I wanted to go John Brown this week, but I found out that he is not the number 1 kicker in the league. It is actually Josh Lambo, and he was hurt when we actually saw John Brown. But he's still in the practice squad, so if Josh Lambo goes down again,
go with John Brown.
We'll have John Brown in the lineup.
John Brown. I think there's so many John Brown.
There's probably so many John Brown
in the world. John Brown. So that is it for our lineups. Now there are 2 booms and 2 busts. I'll do my first 2 booms. I'm going with Chase Edmonds against the Dolphins. I don't think Kenny Drake's going to, or he shouldn't play. Chase Edmonds, when he plays, he produces. He's a good yards per carry guy, and Kyler likes him. He's a kind of a dual threat in receiving and running. So I like that matchup. And then I'm going to go with a guy that might have a little chip on his shoulder, Will Fuller. He had no idea where he was going to play this week, and his talent is unbelievable. He's had a touchdown, I think, the last 5 games. But they're playing the Jaguars. I think Deshaun's going to have a good game, and I think Will Fuller's going to have a good game, and kind of prove that he's legit and that you were going to need to give up a lot if you wanted to trade me.
Yeah, I see both of those going really well. My 2 booms. First one I got Damian Harris from New England. 102 yards last week, run heavy offense, and the Jets.
that's always like just an argument.
Yeah, just a really, if you have a matchup against the Jets, a skills position that's been okay, they're going to do better against the Jets.
I'm going to apologize to Brett Wood real quick. He commented on an Instagram post saying why we hate on the Jets. I'm sorry.
It's nothing personal. They suck. We don't mean it. We obviously we wish them the best. but that.
Hopefully you get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, this is the reality that we're living in. And then my second boom, how about it, Nick Foles?
Go for
How
it.
about it?
Let it hang.
Tennessee's defense has been horrendous. Media is putting a lot of pressure on Nick Foles. Their Mitch Trubisky is trying to work his way back in the lineup, and we all know what Foles does under pressure.
Yeah.
You know what? With that being said, I'm gonna change my pick. I got the Bears this week. I'm gonna change it in the fantasy segment.
Okay.
I'm gonna change my pick. I'm
Go
taking the
for it.
Bears this week. I
Let's
think
go.
the under pressure Nick Foles is a top 3 player in the league. Let's go.
I think he's the best. Screw it. I think he's the best in the
he's
game.
the best. Yeah, we're doing that.
Tremendous. For my 2 busts, I believe you had it as a bust last week with the reigning MVP, Lamar Jackson. I think this game is not going to be the game he gets back on track. We're playing the Colts, which we talked about, best defense in the league. And I expect another mediocre game from Lamar Jackson. I have 2 big names as my bust, so Lamar Jackson and Ezekiel Elliott. For pretty much all the reasons why the Steelers, they're a great defensive team, and the Cowboys just can't move the ball. And I feel bad for Zeke because he's one of the most talented guys in the league, not even just at the running back position. But the Cowboys can't do anything on offense.
No.
So those are my 2 busts.
Yeah.
Lamar and Ezekiel Elliott.
I think this is the first time that we've had the same boom or
Stop.
bust for the week because I also have Zeke.
Wow. Yeah, but you never really had comparisons at all.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is a first for us, but it's time to bench or flex Zeke on a week by week matchup basis.
You think honestly, I'm not gonna bench him completely. No way, you're benching. No way.
I think there's definitely better
More
running
options,
back
yeah, but if
options than Zeke right now.
So you have 2 running backs. You're not gonna put him even at the flex. That's
I think you have to play it by matchup. If you have a good matchup, like if you're playing the Steelers, I'm flat out not playing him this week.
I mean, I can see where, but you use that to high pick on him. Like I have a hard time. Unless you have like 2 other stud running backs.
Yeah.
Like 2 good enough.
I would say I would rather start somebody like Melvin Gordon right now or Todd Gurley before Zeke.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you have, it's not that hard to find guys like that. So I'm not a Zeke believer right now because I'm not a Cowboys
Not
believer
Cowboys
because the
believer.
Cowboys have sucked.
Yeah.
They have been terrible.
Second worst team in the league right now.
They're not that much better than the Jets either. That's the funny part. I said that last week. They're not that much better than the Jets.
We shit on the Jets too much.
Yeah, we do. Rightfully so, though. Rightfully so.
They might go 16. I remember. I went quick because I go real quick. I said there was going to be an undefeated team in the league this year, or one of my hot takes earlier, which I still might have changed to the Steelers, but I should have said there might be vice versa. Because I'm so much more confident in the Jets losing every game than the Steelers winning every game.
Do the Jets play the Cowboys at any point? Because I wonder, because that's really their only hope to win a game. Hold on, let me check the schedule real quick.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Let's see.
You know what is going to be a crazy matchup though? Is the Chargers and Falcons. I know for sure they play upcoming.
Oh my God, that's going to
Imagine
be
that.
like the most confusing game in the world.
You might have the Chargers up 20-0, and then the Falcons go up like 30 to 20, and then they just blow it again. It's gonna be back and forth.
All right, you tell me if they have a chance in any of these games.
The Jets, right?
The Jets.
Okay.
So the Pats on Monday night, the Chargers, the Dolphins, the Raiders, the Seahawks, the Rams, the Browns, and the Pats again.
No.
I mean,
the
maybe
best opportunity would be the Pats Monday night, I think.
or
Or
one of the
the-
2 games. Yeah, if they end up benching Cam Newton, your only hope is Week 17, and if they end up benching Cam Newton and they start Jarrett Stidham, that's your only hope.
Yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins too.
Yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins. I'm taking the Raiders, the
Yeah.
Rams. I'm taking the Chargers.
I'm taking the Browns too. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, Patriots your only chance, which is crazy to say.
yikes. Sorry, Brett.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to take the extra mile, but
We did.
we had to. It was Anywho, my second bust of the week. As we digress back into the fantasy
I
segment.
know we've digressed a bit this episode.
A little bit.
It's alright though.
It is what it is. My second bust of the week, Chris Godwin.
Interesting.
He's going to be the forgotten man in the offense, I would say, with the addition of AB. There's just not enough footballs to go around.
Quick question: Is he healthy?
I think he's back this
Okay.
week. Because it was only a finger injury.
Yeah, I think he broke his. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he did it in practice.
Okay.
So I think that was why the scratch happened last week.
Got it.
But yeah, I think he's supposed to come back this week. My opponent this week, Sonny Pizzella, has him in his lineup.
You're
So
hoping not?
I would assume he's playing.
Yeah, and that's a big win because me and you we're right neck and neck right now.
Yeah, so we got some big games coming up this week. But yeah, Chris Godwin is going to be a forgotten man between the two running backs, the AB, Mike Evans, Gronk.
Gronk's been playing well too.
Yeah, there's just not enough footballs to go around, and I think that Chris Godwin is on the cutting room floor as far as skills positions right now, because you have to use your running backs.
Which is crazy because he went off last year.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's an unfortunate situation.
But
I think we're going to see demand of a trade
Yeah.
if this kind of trends in that direction.
Well,
come
it all
offseason.
depends what Tony Brown's going to be able to do.
Exactly. Yeah, we got to see how they incorporate AB.
And I was watching my first take this morning, but they were saying like he's been training like very well.
Yeah, I would imagine so. He was one of the most talented, if not the most talented wide receiver in the league.
Before he went to the Raiders, when he was still with the Steelers, he was the best in the league for like 4 consecutive seasons.
Yeah, Vontaze Perfect kind of baptized him.
CTE.
Yeah, tragic.
Thanks. So that concludes our fantasy football.
Mhm.
That was a fun one.
Yeah.
That was cool. Now our 2 hot takes. I'll let you start this one.
All right, so I think this one is going to come out of left field a little
Okay.
bit, but if the Cowboys somehow find a way to find themselves within reach in the NFC East within the next 2 or 3 weeks, they will have no choice but to pursue free agent quarterback Colin Kaepernick. That's right.
Get him now. What the hell?
Jerry Jones, I think, will have to swallow his pride in the name of winning because that's just who he is.
Right.
And Dalton, Cooper Rush, Gucci Danucci, Garrett Gilbert, I don't see them trying to compete. And yeah, there are some hot takes that we have on this one, but this one definitely has a little bit of sizzle to it.
Yeah.
So
I definitely Kaepernick, but who's another quarterback that they would go after?
see, all the quarterbacks that I had them going after were like backups.
Right.
So I'm trying.
And now they can't trade anyone, but
Yeah.
so, Kaepernick's got to be the only option, right?
Yeah, we'll do another quick one, and you can do your first one, and I'll try to get that answer for you.
My first one might be a little biased, but I don't care. Devontae Adams is the best receiver in that game. I've been saying
I
this.
could have said that you were going to say that this week.
We were a fantasy group chat. We have like 6 guys, 7 guys maybe in the chat. And I just every time Devontae gets a nice catch, I'm like, oh, best receiver in the game. And my boy Caden's always like, Caden Maynard, shout out Caden Maynard. He's always like, oh, no, he's not. Julio's better. DeAndre Hopkins is better. Devontae's the best. I'm a Packers fan, but give me Devontae Adams all day. One of the best route runners in the game. One of the most talented, just pure receivers. Love that man.
So it looks like that they don't have a current QB.
It's gonna be tough to find, anyways.
Yeah.
But I like it though. Kaepernick. If that would be that'd be a big what was the word I'm looking for? Just mega deal.
Yeah, it would be huge news. Just
A splash, make a splash. That's what
a splash.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, that's huge news. Just based on the fact that he hasn't played in 4 years now.
It's been that long.
It was 3 years when he had the workout at this time last year, and then hasn't it been a year since the
It's the workout.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I believe it. Yeah.
So other ones right here.
Did I see Sam Bradford?
Sam Bradford.
Oh.
Sam Bradford, Cardell Jones, AJ McCarron. Geno Smith is on the Seahawks. I know that. Joe Webb, Kevin Hogan, Brock Osweiler, Josh Rosen.
Who's Josh Rosen with?
He's on a practice squad right now.
Okay.
He's on a practice squad.
That poor guy.
With the Bucks.
That's who it was. Again, yep. But that man has fell off big time.
Yeah. Who was big on? Oh, it was Max Lee that was big on Josh Rosen.
Yeah. Chosen Rose.
Chosen Rosen. How did that work out for you?
Yeah, yikes.
But all right. So digress back into my second
go
hot
ahead,
take.
one.
If James Wiseman falls further than pick 2, Steven Silas and the Rockets will push all their chips in the table that aren't named James Harden and Russell Westbrook to go get James Wiseman. And this will kind of serve as the Rockets' last stand because they have to make a move. They got to make a move, and they got to do it soon.
Right.
Because
they got to change their whole philosophy too.
Because what's going to end up happening is James Harden's going to end up going to the Sixers. Russell Westbrook is going to request a trade as soon as he leaves, and you're going to be left with nothing.
Yeah.
So
And it's been long enough too.
yeah, they've been on the brink every year and just
Yeah.
can't get over the hump. And I think I honestly think if they would have kept Clint Capella, they would have had a lot bigger
Fun, yeah.
hopes. But
He was great for them. He literally caught alley-oops, screens, and rebounded for them.
yeah, that made their team so much worse.
Yeah.
So
I think we both want him to go to the Warriors,
yes, the
But
Warriors is best case scenario
Yeah.
for James Wiseman.
but that would be, I can see that.
Yeah.
For my second, so my hot takes were a little biased. I'm not gonna lie, but the Red Sox are gonna make the playoffs this year.
Wow, swag.
I was so hyped that Core's back. Just made me feel so good because I was like, let's go. Because he's obviously won the World Series in his first year. Don't they gotta get some more pitching. Oh my God.
They need a little bit of everything.
Chris Sale's be back, so hopefully he can stay healthy. Who knows what we're gonna do with Valdi. Eduardo Rodriguez is still dealing with health issues. That poor guy with COVID. The offense is still good. I'm taking the offense. Rafael Devers is the man. Xander's the man. JD's still there. Alex Vertigo is playing very well. I was excited to see that because they gave him in the Mookie deal, which is beside the point. But I'm going to go a little biased, but the Red Sox are going to make the playoffs next year in a tough division with the Yankees and Rays.
Yep. Very hot take. That's
Yeah.
another
Oh,
one.
yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Gotta do that. I said it was biased, but
Yeah.
hot take.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I have a Red Sox move. It's not a pitcher though, which my bad. But I think you're still gonna like the move that I
Okay.
have in our ranking segment.
Okay.